Welcome aboard. At this time, I'd like to ask everyone to please remain seated throughout the show, and please keep your arms, hands, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. Oh, and don't forget to supervise your children. And for the safety of our cast, we ask that you please refrain from flash photography and external video lighting. Now that we've taken care of business, let's talk about me. My name is Katie, and I'll be your guide for this magical journey into the movies. It's the perfect job for me because I love movies. Is everybody ready? Great, because the cameras are ready to roll. Ready when you are, CB. And we are rolling. Hello everyone, welcome to the Great Movie Ride. Once again, my name is Katie, and on behalf of Disney's Hollywood Studios and Turner Classic Movies, please welcome our host for this one-of-a-kind tour, Robert Osborne.
Thank you. Hooray for Hollywood indeed. What better way to start our journey? From the Old West to the rooftops of London and along the yellow brick road, there really is no place like the movies. One of Hollywood's significant contributions to the world of film were great musicals. This scene is from one of my favorites, the 1933 Busby Berkeley spectacular, Footlight Parade. Here's one of the most famous of all dance sequences. It's from the 1952 musical classic, Singing in the Rain.
Here's Gene Kelly, Singing in the Rain, literally.
Here's one of the quintessential Disney musicals, Mary Poppins, starring Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. This classic earned 13 Academy Award nominations.
Chim Chim Cheree, I love this song. Sing along. Hold on to those wallets and purses, folks. This doesn't look like a very good neighborhood.
Here's the birthplace of the gangster film, the seedy underbelly of Chicago, from The Public Enemy, starring James Gay. Released in 1931 before strict censorship rules were enforced, Public Enemy is a gritty, realistic, and violent look at the world of gangsters of the Depression era.
First time I see it. Dirty, double crossing. Open there, baby.
I love gangster movies. Sorry, he's got a point. I hate it when people talk during the movies.
Western films depict the legendary American wild frontier, where cowboys and their loyal steeds maintain order in towns against the untamable wilderness. John Wayne and Clint Eastwood are two of the iconic stars who epitomized this ideal of the stoic gunslinger.
The Duke and Clinton had made some of the greatest westerns of all time. Someone's robbing the bank. Not on my watch, Pilgrim. Sit tight, folks. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated. Your guide will return momentarily. Remain seated, please.
I think it's time for a visit to a concession stand. Bye.
Right into my gang now, Parker, so hold on to your horses.
Speaking of which, where are the horses? It's time to saddle up and ride. Yeah, giddy up. Adios, Tin Horn. I'm riding off into the sunset. Oh, sun sure went down quick, didn't it? I'm a stranger to these here parts. Something always trying to take part of it. You just stay put. What the darn nation is this?
Science fiction has been a staple of classic movies, from Georges Méliès's A Trip to the Moon to George Lucas's Star Wars. In 1979, director Ridley Scott and Sigourney Weaver made audiences believe that in space, no one can hear you scream. This is Alien.
Scream. I don't like the sound of that.
Warning, remain in your vehicle. The area you are entering is extremely dangerous. Proceed with caution.
The emergency distress system is now active. Ship will detonate in T-minus.
Look out!
Expires T-minus 5.
What the Sam Hill was that? It's rearing up again. I wish my old partner Snake was here. Yeah, Bert, I said snake, not snakes.
Steven Spielberg and George Lucas cemented their status as the blockbuster boys with their first partnership. Here from that legendary collaboration is Harrison Ford as archaeologist Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Snakes. Why do they have to be snakes?
Some of the biggest horror stars of Hollywood have appeared in the ancient story of a cursed Egyptian temple. A priceless jewel that beckons to all, but be warned, the temptation always leads to destruction.
Whoa. Reckon it's time to stake my claim. You know, the more than the ghost sound. It takes a lot more than this to spook me. Don't let your hombres move while fetching that treasure. Less than you want a belly full of lead.
I've seen enough movies to know that you really shouldn't even think about trying to steal that jewel.
Halt, unbeliever. Disturb the treasure of the gods, and you shall all pay the price.
Movie, huh?
The twist ending. It just goes to show you anything can happen in the movies. Now, let's get on with the show.
Ooh, I see dead people. Things that go bump in the night have always been a staple of movies. One of the first horror films was a silent short featuring a dancing skeleton, created by the Lumiere brothers in 1897. Wow, it's really a jungle out there. Where are we?
This is the jungle home of one of the most famous movie characters of them all, Tarzan. The movie's most popular Tarzan is undoubtedly Johnny Weissmuller, who's won through 12 films as the King of the Jungle.
Over here we have Moreno Sullivan as Jake, and Tarzan's sidekick Cheetah, who was portrayed by over a dozen chimpanzee actors over the years. How about a nice round of applause for Jake, Skippy, Harry, Zippy, Dinky, and all the rest. You know, The jungle has always been the perfect setting for great adventure movies. Think about the opening of Raiders of the Lost Ark, where archaeologist Indiana Jones braves the thick to steal the golden idol, or the spooky jungle where Arnold Schwarzenegger battles the predators. Tarzan paved the way with his iconic ape call, so Arnold could eventually yell, "Get to the chopper."
Humphrey Bogart in his most famous film role. In 1942, Bogey finally got to spread his wings and romance the beautiful Ingrid Bergman in Casablanca.
Get it back. I've got a job to do too. Where I'm going, you can't follow. What I've got to do, you can't be any part of. Look, I'm not going to be noble. It doesn't take much to see that the problems of three little people don't amount to a hill of beans in this crazy world. Someday you'll understand that.
And now, one of the most famous movie stars in one of his greatest roles, Mickey Mouse is the Sorcerer's Apprentice in Fantasia.
When the film came out in 1940, Walt Disney promised to add new musical sequences in the future. His nephew Roy kept that promise 60 years later with the release of Fantasia 2000.
We've come over the rainbow and into one of the most beloved and most watched films in movie history, The Wizard of Oz.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. You have no power here. Be gone before somebody drops a house on you, too.
Very well. I'll bide my time. But just try to stay out of my way. Just try. I'll get you, my pretty. And your little dog, too.
I wonder which way do we go? What do you folks think? Which way do we go?
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the yellow brick road. Now why didn't I think of that? Sing along, folks. You know the words.